Mumonkan, case number 45, Hoen's Who is This? Main case. Hoen said, even Shakya and Maitreya are servants of another. I want to ask you, who is this? Mumon's comment. If you can really see this another with perfect clarity, it is like encountering your own father at an intersection. Why should you ask whether you recognize him? Mumon's verse. Don't draw someone else's bow. Don't ride someone else's horse. Don't discuss someone else's faults. Don't explore someone else's affairs. So we start with the main case. Hoen said, even Shakya and Maitreya are servants of another. I want to ask you, who is this? Just to clarify, Shakya relates to Shakyamuni Buddha, who is the historical Buddha from the Shakya clan and who lived in India during the 5th to 4th century BC. As to Maitreya Buddha, he is considered as the Buddha that will come in the future, so a bit comparable to a Messiah that still has to arrive. And in this koan, we are asked to ponder about who it could be that both of them are servants to. The misleading part in this text is that it calls that one another and further asks, who is this? As if it was some kind of person. This reminds me when I was a child, and my belief in God at that time was some kind of Santa Claus figure sitting on a cloud and looking down and judging all our actions. This example shows how we tend to objectify God. In the same way, the koan may mislead you to believe that Shakyamuni Buddha and Maitreya Buddha would be the servants of a person, a he or a she. And in any way, the koan question is in fact applicable to all sages, priests, gurus, and most importantly, also yourself. So the question is, who are they all a servant to? Who are you a servant to? To elaborate this a little bit, we should note that during any time we play all kind of roles. You get busy at work to earn a living, and doing so you play a certain role. Or you search for happiness in objects here, objects there, and to do so you play certain roles. Or you search for happiness in relationships with this person or that person, and in doing so you again play certain roles. Or you work out at the gym to improve your physical condition, and when you do that, you play a certain role. Or you prepare food to satisfy your body's hunger, and when you do so, you play a certain role. And during the day, we thus play hundreds of roles. But the question then is, who are you really serving in playing all these roles? We act a little bit like those puppets on a stage. But where is the puppet master? Where is the puppeteer? Is this puppeteer some kind of a man or a woman pulling the strings, and we are just like those puppets being played around with by the puppeteer? Well, you know, there are no such strings around here. So the question then again is, who or what can it possibly be you are a servant to? Or who or what are you playing all these roles for? We will do a small meditation exercise a little bit later in this video to get a better taste about this. But let us first continue with the Koans' comment and verse. And I read again Mumon's comment. If you can really see this another with perfect clarity, it is like encountering your own Father at an intersection. Why should you ask whether you recognize him? What is being said here is that the one you are a servant to is so easy to recognize that it is like seeing your father or your mother at an intersection. No one, not a person, is needed to confirm that this is your father or your mother. And similarly, if you have a taste of the one that you are a servant to, you will know it. It's not some kind of far-fetched state, not something to achieve after 10 or 20 years of hard practice. It is something so easy as recognizing your father or your mother. Before going to our little exercise, we still have to go through the verse, which actually we will be using during the meditation. So, Mumon's verse. Don't draw someone else's bow. Don't ride someone else's horse. Don't discuss someone else's faults. Don't explore someone else's affairs. You can read this verse on a rather superficial way, where the meaning might be something like, don't use something that doesn't belong to you, like a bow or a horse. Don't judge other people. Better evaluate if your own opinions are okay. Or don't mix or get involved in what doesn't concern you. In other words, don't put your nose in someone else's affairs. All that is nice and well and valid in its own right. However, this is at the level of morality. The Koan, however, goes much, much deeper. This verse considers that we are usually considered as mine, like my body or my thoughts, and that those are not really mine. Those are like someone else's. from awareness point of view, this body-mind is like someone else's. So, let's start now with our little meditation, and we're going to go through this verse line by line. The first line in the verse was, "Don't draw someone else's bow." Well, a bow and an arrow are usually used to target something outside of ourselves, a bit like what our senses are doing. Seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, all of that are used to make contact with the outside world. I will take hearing as an example, and I will be hitting the bell and will stop every time to ask a few questions which you, the viewer, can meditate on. Ask yourself, who listens? Is it your ear that listens? Is it your brain that listens? Is it a person that listens? Or is it the ocean of awareness that listens? And is the ear or body you? Or is it rather the ocean of awareness that is you? Don't use another's bow here. Means don't take this ear or this eye as being you. Rather take this ocean of awareness as what you truly are. The second line in the verse is, don't ride someone else's horse. The horse one sits on can be seen as our bodies. So close your eyes for just a moment and become aware of some bodily sensation. Maybe a tension you have in the belly or in the upper back, or a tension between the eyes. Focus on that bodily sensation and ask yourself, who is aware of it? Is it a person that is aware of that bodily sensation? Is it a thought that is aware of this bodily sensation? A feeling? Or is it again the ocean of awareness that is aware of this bodily sensation? And then ask the question again, is the sensation really you? Is that the body really you? Or is it the ocean of awareness in which the sensations appear that is really you? Don't ride another's horse means don't take your body as being your own. The third line in the verse is, don't discuss someone else's faults. In this line, the discussion of someone's faults can be seen as our usual thought processes. So I invite you again for a short moment to close your eyes and think about something. If nothing comes up, think about today's breakfast. Who views that thought? Is it a person who views this thought? Is it a thought that views this thought? Is it a feeling that views this thought? Or again, is it the ocean of awareness that sees this thought? And then ask again the question, is the thought you, or is the ocean of awareness you? Don't discuss another's fault can then mean don't take your thoughts as being you. They are as if someone else's. The fourth line in the verse is, don't explore someone else's affairs. In this case, someone else's affairs may be seen as our 100 of ego roles we play all day long, as we had discussed before. So take another moment to close your eyes again and remember the role you play when meeting your mom or your dad or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Who views that role playing? Is it a person, a thought, a feeling, or is it the ocean of awareness that is aware of this role playing? And is the ego role playing you? Is that what you are? Or is it the ocean of awareness that is you? Don't explore someone else's affairs would then mean don't take your ego roles as being you. So, now that we've done 4 little exercises, what about this ocean of awareness? Could that be the one whom we are all servants to? Not some Santa Claus figure on a cloud, not some father-like figure checking out if we behave or misbehave, not some puppeteer pulling strings, but something much more subtle, surrounding us like the ocean of awareness, the aware space, hearing the sounds, seeing, smelling, tasting, the aware space in which all thoughts and all feelings are created and appear, the aware space in which the puppet roles we play all day long with its ego characters come and go. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are all servants of that. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.